Hello. The goal of this video is to understand how an LLM actually works. Our experience is that when we use a chatbot, we use, let's say, ChatGPT, which what you for sure have used. What we do is we have this web page and we have this conversation who looks like a chat and looks like a stateful interaction. The LLM remembers what we said, remembers our conversation and produces actual coherent outputs within the conversation that we have. But that's not how it works. That's not how we should see the LLM as developers. For us, we need to understand that the LLM is just a computer program just that receives an input, a text input, and then will produce a text output for us. And for each message that we send to the LLM, we have to send again all the context, and the LLM is going to interpret this context again. Let's see, using this nice program that I developed to teach about this, and then later we will study how this program is written, and you will study the code and understand how to do it, because it's a very simple chatbot, but that is going to present you with how to understand the context. So first of all, we need to create an environment, UVVenv. In this way, what we are doing is creating, okay, we're going to replace the source. We have created a virtual environment in Python, so we don't pollute with the libraries and anything else in our Python, in the Python system of our computer. And now what we're going to do is do source.venv bin activate. This is the Unix syntax. It will work on your Mac and you will work on Ubuntu, not in Windows, but this is what you should use. And then we can do uv sync, which will load all the packages in our files. Let's look at the files. In these files we have there, here we have our environment file. And here's a sample for you. In the environment file, you will have your OpenAI API key here, and then you will have to choose the model and the endpoint. For instance, in this case, is set up if you are using OpenRouter, but for instance, my demo is going to run directly on OpenAI, and I'm not going to show you the API key. Then you have the license and a README file that you can read when you use this repo, and then this is the TOML file that is going to tell that this repo uses all of these packages to do its thing. And here we have the Context Explorer Py file, which we can do. We can see that this is this Python code. Not so long, it's like 300 lines of code. So now what we have to do is uv run contextexplorer.py. So here is our program. It's going to tell us that the configuration, the setup is GPT-4.1 mini. It's a cheap model from OpenAI. It works in OpenAI and the API is working, and it will tell us that, okay, just type our message, and if we say that don't give any message, it's going to quit. Let's test it. Goodbye, and then I'm going to run the program again, and now I'm going to say hello. So let's see what we get here. I just said hello, and the API request, this is what our Python program is going to send to OpenAI with a web service call. It's going to send this input. This is the input that is going to enter in the system. Well, actually, this is what is going to enter in the system, this part, and we send this through the web service request. We say that this is the model that we use. The temperature, it's how predictable we want our output to be. It's something that's been deprecated, and then they provide us with an ID of the of the interaction, the model that actually responded, not the GPT 4.1 mini, but one that was created in April 2015. What it did finish, because the model said that it had finished, and this is the output. And the output is, hello, how can I assist you today? Okay, and this is the response, hello. And we have some information, the number of tokens, the tokens of the tokens of the prompt, the tokens of the completion, and so on. So, what is the message like? First of all, the message is, we have the system prompt. It's the first message that we send to the assistant. Is a prompt that tells the assistant, the LLM, what he has to do. In this case, you are a helpful assistant, so it has to be helpful to the user. It gives him a character. It gives him a clue. Then we will experiment later with system prompts. And this is who sends the message, the role, the user, and the content is hello. And now this is the response. Okay, role, who is the assistant, the LLM, and content, hello, how I can assist you today. That's the response. That's the response, and here we can see the actual context in a way that we can understand. Now, if I continue the conversation, is write a poem about cows. Now, let's see. When I ask it, write a poem about cows, it's going to make another API request with the same system prompt, the first message, the response the assistant gave us, and now the message that I just wrote. And then the response is going to have the same structure as before, and it will send us the text of the response. And this is the response of the assistant, the program, a nice program about cows that we are not going to read. And this is the context right now. The context is growing. What we can see is that if I ask it to write it in Spanish, now what is going to happen is that my message is going to keep growing. I send again all the messages. I send all the messages, and to respond the model and continue the conversation needs to have all the information.